But you said, nah, this need to be you.
That's who you are.
Yeah.
Come on, Slime.
You act like that?
Nah, not like that, Slime. Come on. I ain't
By the way, the war report.
And you write the book and said N.O.R.E. somebody.
N.O.R.E. didn't mind that. He didn't mind that.
N.O.R.E. my mistake.
N.O.R.E. was like, how come I tell people that when no one cares, but when Prodigy says it?
What you mean, how you a mistake? The ground.
They calling and saying, yo, Prodigy doesn't want to be a part of the record anymore. So we left Prodigy on the hook. We took his verse off.
Capone is finally letting the truth fly about what really went down between N.O.R.E. and Prodigy, and now folks are starting to look at N.O.R.E. sideways. Was he actually part of a sneaky plan to bring Prodigy down for good? The streets are buzzing with questions. For the longest time, most people brushed off the beef between Prodigy and CNN like it was just some classic rap mess. Jailhouse gossip, ego trips, and street talk. Nothing deep, right? But now, Capone's recent comments got fans rethinking everything. Some are even claiming that N.O.R.E. might have had a hand in Prodigy's downfall, and not by accident. So what did Capone really say that's got everyone raising eyebrows? What was N.O.R.E.'s actual problem with Prodigy? And could he have been linked to that alleged behind-the-scenes industry move to shut Prodigy up once and for all? Let's dig into this. To really understand why Capone's words hit like a bomb, we gotta rewind to the late 90s and early 2000s, a raw era in hip-hop when everything was real and respect meant everything. Back then, Mobb Deep and Capone-N-Noreaga were both holding down Queens heavy. These weren't no manufactured rap acts. They had the streets and the bars to prove it. Prodigy and N.O.R.E. weren't best buds or anything, but they moved in the same circles. They hopped on tracks together, shared stages, and were cool enough to keep things respectful in public. Or so it seemed, but the vibe changed. Something started shifting behind the scenes. Then in 2011, everything exploded when Prodigy dropped his autobiography, My Infamous Life. That book shook the whole game. He didn't hold back and called folks out by name. No filters, no mercy. And guess what? Capone's name was right there in the pages. According to Prodigy, Capone had testified in a case tied to Havoc's brother, Killer Black, a move that instantly brought questions, drama, and a whole lot of heat. Just putting that kind of accusation in a book was enough to light everything up. True or not, Capone wasn't quiet about it either. He hit interviews heated, daring Prodigy to call him a snitch to his face.
I didn't know nothing about the crime. I wasn't Killer's co-defendant. I wasn't there when the crime happened. I ain't speak to him after. I ain't speak to nobody after. But I gave a fake statement. Hey, it happens. But I didn't put nothing in there to incriminate nobody. But at the end of the day, when it came time to go to trial, they try to use that shit. Like I gave a statement. But go ahead, it's a lie. I don't care. Because Prodigy tried to say, oh, he gotta, what'd he say? He gotta take it up with himself or something. Some fun like that. I'm like, my man, I'm a G. Let me tell you something. I bust my gun to the fullest in the hood, man. I did my crimes. I went up north. So in that time, when all that's supposed to happen, right after that happened, I came right back to the hood. I didn't go nowhere to hide. I didn't dip from nobody. I was in your face. I was in everybody's face. Nobody had nothing to say. Killer came home. He seen me numerous times in the street. We kicked it. Me and Hav kicked it. Everything. The next you say I snitched on was in the streets with me. With me, man, with me. Like it's not a mystery that he was in the streets with me. Then when I go to jail, he goes and runs with the I was with before I went to jail. So come on, I can't be that much of a snitch, B, because had ample time to say anything they wanted, to do anything they wanted. It's 17 years later, my dude. Now come find out you drop a book. You want to mention that? Yeah, everybody told me that to my face 20 years, 15 years ago. You could have told me that anyway. You could have tried to dead my career. But don't wait till now when you drop a book to try to glorify your life. Like it's all that crazy, like I'm just a snitch. I did my bid. I didn't do a bid just for holding my I never got punched in my face while having a gun on me.
But Prodigy's fans weren't letting it slide. They started pressing Capone. Why would he even take the stand or make any statement if he had nothing to do with the case? That's what had folks questioning his story. Then N.O.R.E. jumped in. He backed up Charlemagne when he accused Prodigy of dry snitching, saying, I like the way you put it.
And we were talking about his book. He has his autobiography out right now.
Right.
And he definitely kept it real about everything from his point of view.
He did a lot of dry snitching, though.
From everything that happened.
He talked about people getting shot, people shooting.
Yeah, he
People
definitely
fighting.
did.
He said it, and you. I like the way you put it. You try to the jazz. I like the way you put it.
That added even more heat to the fire. But here's the twist. Havoc later came back claiming he didn't tweet any of that. He said his phone had been stolen.
So then he put out a statement. Just getting back into New York after my Easter weekend with family and friends in Jersey. I left my phone at a gas station yesterday evening while on my way to Jersey after a glorious Knicks game. To all Mobb Deep fans, it's business as usual. It's Mobb Deep all day. My Twitter account at The Real Havoc will be down until further notice. The only other real account is at Prodigy Mobb Deep. Ignore the rest. One.
So he talked all this tough talk on Twitter only to say that his phone got stolen at a gas station and somebody else was tweeting it. But when you look at the tweets, he was actually tweeting from the web. Not even mobile web, just from the web. So even if your phone got stolen, it don't matter because you was tweeting from the web.
All right, so our boy N.O.R.E. actually...
Seriously, things got even messier when an audio clip dropped. And in it, Havoc repeated all the same wild stuff about Prodigy being gay and admitted again that he smacked him.
Played a clip of this is Havoc, right?
This is Havoc.
Talking about Prodigy.
Yes.
We'll say allegedly just to cover our ass,
Allegedly,
but this is Havoc.
I don't got nothing against gay people or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, look, your son, look, watch, and then this in the jail come out from the woodworks and they're gonna tell you what the this was doing. He gay. I had to smack him like a month and a half ago when we was doing South by Southwest.
Now explain what he just said, Charlamagne.
He basically said that his former partner in rhyme, I don't want to say former because I guess they're still together, Prodigy is gay and his dudes in the jail that are going to come out the woodworks and back up his story, and he actually smacked Prodigy a month and a half ago at the South by Southwest show.
I think that it happened. Things like this been happening over years. We've been hearing rumors, and even though he probably going to come and he's going to deny it, I think that the crap will be let out the bag very soon.
The clip was all over the internet. Then N.O.R.E. jumped in. He confirmed that was Havoc's voice in the audio, but he didn't stop there. N.O.R.E. threw a slick shot at Prodigy too, saying something like, "The cat's gonna be let out the bag soon." What was he hinting at? Later on, N.O.R.E. tried to walk it back, saying he was just playing around, and when someone asked if he believed what Havoc said about Prodigy's sexuality, N.O.R.E. didn't say yes or no. He just said, "Ask Havoc." That silence spoke volumes though. By that point, fans were divided. Some thought the whole thing was a setup, like a publicity stunt. Even Prodigy later admitted they ran with the drama to get attention, but others believed there was real tension brewing underneath all that noise. And now, word is, there might be cracks forming between Capone and N.O.R.E. Insiders say Capone's been keeping his distance lately, not linking with N.O.R.E. like he used to. Something's definitely off. Allegedly, Capone's been out here telling folks he's not feeling the way N.O.R.E. moves in the industry or the type of people he surrounds himself with. And here's where things really start getting wild. Let's not forget, Prodigy spent years going after the music industry, the government, the prison system, even secret societies. He didn't tiptoe around it either. He was calling out the Illuminati by name and exposing what he believed was straight up crimes happening behind the scenes.
It's definitely not a joke, man. It's a lot of real stuff going on out here in this world. Secret societies are real. It's definitely very obvious, that they're at work and it's at play in the music industry, in the food industry, politics. Everywhere you turn is everywhere. You just got to read the signs. You know what I mean? The writing on the wall, basically, is all in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, once people just learn about it and do a little research about it all, they'll be able to see like, oh wow, I understand what's going on. And all this ritualistic and rituals on little, they kids doing satanic rituals. Like, this stuff is really going on in this world. Like, you know what I mean? You got sick people like Jeffrey Dahmer and different people like that. And I believe that it was a different background to it, why he was doing what he was doing. I think it was some ritualistic things going on.
He spoke boldly about the so-called elites who, in his words, were into dark and twisted stuff while pulling the strings in the background. Prodigy even said he wasn't afraid to die if it meant putting the truth out there. He was ready to risk it all.
Even though I was inside, locked in a prison, I wanted to show them that I still had no fear in my heart, about speaking my mind and letting people know what time it is. There's no reason for me to fear because it's really nothing there's nothing they can do besides and I'm not.
Then boom, 2017 hits and Prodigy dies in a hospital after allegedly choking on an egg. That didn't sit right with a lot of fans, especially when it came out that he was working on a musical about the Illuminati at the time of his death. Yeah, people started connecting the dots real fast. The official story just wasn't clicking for them. But N.O.R.E, he shut all that talk down. In a recent interview with Havoc, when someone brought up the theory, he brushed it off like it was nonsense, straight called it a conspiracy theory, and moved on quick. He even seemed to nudge Havoc to co-sign that it was all just talk.
Now, I'm sorry to start with you with such a harsh question, but a lot of people, when they look at Prodigy's death, right? There's a lot of conspiracy theories that floats around that death. People actually say that it was an eggshell. Obviously, when I want to interview anybody, I Google everything, and people are saying, and then there's this video, and you tell me if this is real or not, I don't know. A Prodigy and they're like Illuminati, a guy running up on the Illuminati and saying, you better not put out this video. You know,
somebody was ran up on
him. Yeah, and he had the people had a mask on. Did you ever see this video?
Nah, it was a real video.
It was I don't know if it was a real video.
Up on him?
Yeah, they ran up on him and they was like, you know, you better not put this video out, whatever video that it is.
But that made fans more suspicious. Some think N.O.R.E was trying to protect his ties in the industry, while others believe he was doing cleanup, like maybe he knew something, or worse. Maybe N.O.R.E didn't set Prodigy up directly, but what if he played a part in pushing him out, in discrediting him, in throwing shade when Prodigy needed someone in his corner the most? That gaslighting, that public clowning, it meant something. And if N.O.R.E really was just joking when he co-signed all those wild rumors about Prodigy being gay, and they squashed the beef like he claimed, why keep Prodigy's name floating in negativity? And now that Capone's allegedly pulling back from N.O.R.E, it's got people wondering if he knows more than he's letting on. Maybe this is his quiet way of stepping away. No drama, just distance. But either way, the cracks are showing, and when you really dig into it, this don't look like no typical old school rap beef anymore. In an industry this shady, the ones who make it to the top, then stay there, are usually the ones who follow the rules, stay quiet and play the game. But the ones who speak out, the ones who ask questions like Prodigy did, they either fade out or they get taken out. And now folks are saying it's no accident that Prodigy passed under such strange circumstances while someone like N.O.R.E landed corporate deals and shows with Diddy's Revolt. So now everybody's asking, did N.O.R.E make it because he sold out? Was he rewarded for falling in line? Or worse, for helping silence a man who refused to? Do you think he was compromised? And when you look back on how he treated Prodigy, was it really just jokes or was it something darker? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications. We're not done yet. Catch you in the next one.